Hey guys, Shazam here again. So I made a poll on Instagram and got most votes wanting me to list elemental techniques, so I thought after the Sasuke video it would be fair for me to start with lightning release. So here it goes. But first I'd like to thank my friend AnimeX. He helped me quite a lot with things I will not be mentioning as he asked, but I still haven't forgiven him for not playing Shinobi Striker with me in like a month. So, lightning release is often put in the third spot of the elements below wind because it's countered by it and above earth because it counters it. Also, it should be noted that lightning release is usually associated with increased speed like Kakashi when using Chidori, and that's why he needs a Sharingan, or the third and fourth Raikage with their Raiton armor. By the way, lightning release is also called Raiton. And there are a bunch of people who use it, but I'll talk about the ones who use it regularly and not just because it's listed in their databook profiles. Because even Hinata has lightning release. Well, I'm gonna list the people, not talk about them. Those being Kakashi, Sasuke, Kakuzu, 3rd Raikage, 4th Raikage, Killer Bee, and Darui. But I guess I'll have to list the techniques for it to show how well they use it. First we have Chidori, the original form of the first lightning release we see, created when Kakashi failed to apply his lightning nature to the Rasengan and is basically a concentration of chakra into the palm, while manipulating the shape of a blade for maximum efficiency, used by Sasuke and Kid Kakashi. Next up is Raikiri or Lightning Blade. The first lightning technique we ever see used by Kakashi. It's the same as the original Chidori, but not much of a difference is stated between the two. But it is said to be the more advanced version of Chidori and is implied to have better shape manipulation of the lightning. Now the following are gonna be the same ones I talked about in my heavy Sasuke video, so I'm gonna keep it brief. Kusanagi Chidori Blade, basically running Chidori through the Kusanagi blade or any other sword, giving it the ability to cut steel and can paralyze the target by having the lightning nature flow into the enemy's wound, used only by Sasuke. Chidori Spear, a variation of Chidori where instead of shaping it like a blade, it's shaped into a spear for longer range. The lightning can radiate into all directions once the target is pierced, used by Sasuke. Chidori Senbon, another Chidori variation shaped like needles and fired into any direction the user desires, used by Sasuke as well. Chidori Stream, another Chidori variation where the lightning nature flows through the entirety of the user's body and damaging all enemies surrounding them within a short range, used by Sasuke as well. Kirin, the coolest lightning technique, a giant lightning dragon dropping from the sky with enough prep, used only once in the series and only by Sasuke. Check out my Heavy Sasuke video for more details on it. Next up is Lightning Style False Darkness, a B-rank all-range offensive technique used by Kakuzu. The technique is unleashed from the lightning mask Kakuzu has sharp spear-like forms stated to have the ability to break rocks. Kakuzu also has the ability to increase the number of lightning bolts fired. Next up is Lightning Release Shadow Clone, or Raiton Kagebunshin, an A-rank offensive supplementary technique that gathers lightning release and shapes it into a clone of the user. At the user's will, or if it's destroyed, it will reveal the lightning nature, which will explode and shock the enemy nearby, causing their paralysis, used by Kakashi only. Lightning Release Lightning Beast Running Tracking Fang. The name is unnecessarily long, so I just call it the Lightning Hound, okay? It's a C-rank short to mid-range offensive and supplementary technique that is basically a Chidori that Kakashi shapes into a hound and releases it. Depending on the amount of Raiton used, the speed and range of the hound can be adjusted. It says if the enemy receives a hit, their movements will be stopped. Now I don't know how exactly that is meant, but I'd assume they take very little damage and the main function of the attack is to paralyze the target. Even if it's just for a second, considering it's like 2 ranks below Raikiri, which is an A-rank technique, it's only used by Kakashi as well. Next up is Lightning Chain, also called Raiden, but I call it the Lightning Cable. It's basically a Raikiri with all its advantages and abilities, but instead of one, Kakashi creates a clone who uses a Raikiri, and runs with him in a straight line, creating a cable of lightning between them connecting the 2 Raikiris, which gives Kakashi a wider area of damage that can take out multiple enemies at once. Kamui Raikiri, a BS/Aspal type of Raikiri that combines the power of Kamui with Chidori, Raikiri, why do I keep saying Chidori? So instead of piercing a target upon impact, the part that was hit is warped into the Kamui dimension. I like this technique, but I'm not a fan of how it was introduced. Also, it's black, so it's cool. Alright, moving on. Lightning Release lariat! an A-rank short-range offensive technique said to be passed down in the Cloud Village for generations. The user amasses a large amount of chakra into the arm and smashes the enemy's neck. It's said to be moving almost at the speed of light, which was impressive as hell at that point. With this, B was able to destroy Sasuke's chest cavity, but he was still able to breathe. Uchiha plot armor, ladies and gentlemen. Kisame lost his head after getting hit by a double lariat and claiming it was too fast. The double lariat also requires the user to hit the enemy with equal power. The user's not user. In this case, it's a combination of lightning armor and Biju cloak, used by both the 4th Raikage A and Killer B. Next up is Lightning Release Chakra Mode, a B-rank offensive, defensive, and supplementary technique where the user covers their entire body with lightning nature and stimulates it, giving them massive speed, defense, and attack boost. The 4th Raikage was able to almost completely block Chidori with its defense, and from what I've seen, the greater the control or amount of lightning, I'm not sure about that, covering the body, the greater the boost is. Where did I get that from? Maybe reanimated 3rd Raikage when he was absolutely obliterating everyone, countering Rasen Shuriken, which even Madara claims has too much energy, and it's a wind element which counters lightning without being damaged, and his health stab is OP. And he is able to withstand the teleporting thing of the cloud. I don't know what it's called, I didn't research it. I think I've talked quite enough about it. It was only used by the 3rd and 4th Raikage. Alright, I'm not kidding when I say this, but the next technique's name is Elbow, or the data book says it's Urubu. A short-range offensive technique where the user strikes an enemy with their elbow after covering themselves in lightning armor. That's about it. But seriously, it's a powerful attack that sent a fully transformed Jugo flying into a wall, unable to move after. It was used by the 4th Raikage only. I originally wanted to say the name of this technique by screaming, but Liger Bomb, I guess. You see, it's way too boring if I don't scream. A B-rank close-range offensive technique that nobody survived before, only for it to be countered by Susanoo. Basically a smackdown move performed by the 4th Raikage. Okay, this technique does not exist in the databook, but I think I should add it. It's called Lightning Release Bitch Slap. The one the 4th Raikage used when Sasuke was being a pussy just to prove a point, probably the most OP on this list. Next up is Hell Stab, a close-range offensive technique where the user charges at an enemy with incredible speed, similar to the Raikiri, but the damage depends on the fingers used. The less fingers used, the smaller the area of effect is, but the greater the piercing damage is. That's why one finger is the best. Explain that to the ladies, okay? I should stop. This attack is also called the Strongest Spear, and it's the only attack that can damage the 3rd Raikage. How OP do you have to be? That's like me, the only guy who can roast Shazam is Shazam himself. And that immediately gives the 3rd Raikage Shazam points for unintentionally being a narcissist. The technique was only used by him, by the way. Next up is Lightning Release Black Puntsu. Sorry, I meant Black Panther. A B-rank close to mid-range offensive technique where a panther made out of black lightning is unleashed, and similar to Kakashi's Lightning Hound, it does damage enemies, but it keeps going, damaging more enemies. This technique can also be used with water to increase its area of effect, used by Darui. Next up is Lightning Water Dragon Bullet. It's a combination technique between the Mizukage Mei's Water Dragon Bullet with the 4th Raikage's Lightning Release. Any enemy it touches goes numb. That's about it. Next up is Lightning Release Inspirational Wave, a technique where the user spits water using water release from their mouth and uses the lightning seal to mix the lightning release with the water and electrocutes any enemy it touches. And it was used by Darui. Lightning Release 4-Pillar Trap, an all-range offensive and supplementary technique where 4 pillars emerge from the ground and immediately electricity is released from all directions. The databook says escaping this is impossible, but I'd say it's the databook doing its thing again. I'd say it's just difficult to dodge. The technique was used by an Anbu member called Zo or something. Next up is Lightning Release Lightning Illusion Flash of Lightning Pillar. Man, Minato should stop naming the techniques. Minato didn't actually name it, it's just a joke I'm sure most of you get. I hope so. An all-range supplementary genjutsu that uses lightning with yin release. It's a genjutsu that conceals the enemy's eyes with lightning to give allies an opening to attack. Okay, that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'd appreciate it if you guys comment whether you want me to make all other elements, the basic ones at least. And if you don't comment, I'll unsub to Anime X, block Dilix, and report Anime Villain for having wrong opinions. But seriously, if you enjoyed, a like would be appreciated, and the subscribe button is down there and it isn't hard to hit. Just saying. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Oh wait, is this the 10-minute mark? Oh, that's cool. I barely do that. I'm not gonna throw it away for a few seconds. And there we go.